What if the greatest lesson about faith, certainty, and strength is hidden inside a story you think you already know? Stay with this until the end, because the journey of Musa is not just history. It is a living message about trust in Allah when everything around you seems impossible, when fear surrounds you, and when the world appears stronger than truth itself. The purest image of Tawhid is reflected in the lives of the prophets. From Adam to Yunus, their stories revolve around one central truth. Allah alone is the true king, the one without partner, the one who controls every outcome. When we reflect on the life of Musa, we are not simply revisiting events. We are witnessing signs of Allah's power unfolding in ways no human could ever plan. Imagine a tyrant like Pharaoh ordering the killing of countless infants because he feared a prophecy. Yet the very child he sought to destroy was raised in his own palace, fed from his table, protected under his roof. Allah inspired the mother of Musa to place her baby into the river, promising to return him and make him a messenger. What looks like certain death becomes divine protection. The river becomes a cradle. The enemy's palace becomes a sanctuary. This is what happens when Allah's will overrides human schemes. When Musa later fled Egypt after accidentally killing a man, he entered the desert with no map, no provision, and no companion. But he carried something greater: certainty in Allah. He prayed for guidance, and Allah led him to Madian. Exhausted, homeless, and alone, he turned again to Allah, admitting his need. In response, he was given shelter, work, and marriage. When he had nothing, he had everything, because he had reliance on Allah. Then came the moment of revelation. Allah spoke to Musa and declared the core message: worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. Tawhid was the foundation. When Musa confronted Pharaoh, he did not argue with politics or power. He proclaimed the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the Lord of the east and the west. When threatened with prison, he stood firm. When magicians were gathered to defeat him, Allah made the truth clear. The magicians recognized it instantly and fell in prostration, declaring faith despite threats of torture and death. What gave them such courage? Certainty in returning to Allah. They understood that this world is temporary and that Allah is better and everlasting. When oppression intensified and Bani Israel complained, Musa did not call for chaos or destruction. He said, "Seek help from Allah and be patient. The earth belongs to Allah. He grants it to whom He wills." True reform begins with returning to Allah, strengthening prayer, and purifying belief. Even the wife of Pharaoh, tortured for her faith, turned to Allah and asked for a home near Him in paradise. Her body was bound, but her heart was free. At the shore of the sea, with Pharaoh's army behind them and water before them, the people cried out in despair. Musa answered with unshakable conviction, "My Lord is with me. He will guide me." The sea split. Walls of water stood like mountains. Tawhid does not remove trials. It opens paths where none exist. Yet even after witnessing miracles, some from Bani Israel asked for an idol like those they saw others worshipping. A heart accustomed to humiliation struggles to detach from false dependence. Musa reminded them that worship belongs to Allah alone. Later, when he asked to see Allah, it was from longing, from deep love. The mountain crumbled at a glimpse of divine manifestation, and Musa fell unconscious. When he awoke, he repented and reaffirmed his faith. The greatness of Allah is beyond imagination. In the journey with Khidr, Musa learned a deeper dimension of Tawhid, trusting Allah's wisdom even when events seem unjust. A damaged boat saved its owners. A boy's death protected his parents from future misery. A repaired wall preserved treasure for orphans. Some wisdom we understand quickly, some we never see. But Allah acts only with perfect knowledge. When Musa was commanded to lead his people to the sacred land, many refused, saying, "Go, you and your Lord, and fight." As a result, they wandered for 40 years. Not every generation is ready to carry responsibility. Musa's life ended in the wilderness, yet it was a beautiful ending. A life of private devotion, closeness to Allah, and sincere worship. There is no sweeter conclusion for a believer than meeting Allah with a heart full of loyalty and love. The story of Musa is not just about miracles. It is about building a heart anchored in Tawhid, a heart that sees beyond fear, beyond power, beyond appearances. It teaches that victory begins with certainty, that patience is strength, and that Allah is always in control. If we truly understand this, our worship changes, our reactions change, and our entire outlook on life transforms.